Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. I was recently reading the Living Lutheran magazine, and I came across this article entitled A True Thanksgiving by the Reverend Dr. Timothy Wenger, pastor and professor emeritus of Reformation history at United Lutheran Seminary. In the article, Dr. Wenger wrote, "The problem with Thanksgiving, let alone praise, service, and obedience, is twofold. On the one hand, we try to turn it into a must, and we put on our smiley face and say thank you. Every time my Aunt Gladys gave me wool socks for Christmas, I was faced with the dilemma. I had to write a thank you note, but I wasn't really thankful at all. Hypocritical thanksgiving is the very opposite of true thanks. On the other hand, we imagine that we can manufacture true thanksgiving on our own, and we take credit for being thankful or feel guilty when we aren't. But this isn't true thanksgiving either. Like all Christian good works, Thanksgiving comes spontaneously." And then Dr. Wenger goes on and gives an example of how our kids and grandkids are so great at spontaneously giving thanks. But then, this one line really struck me. He writes, "What creates Thanksgiving is not our attitude, but God's gifts." So according to Dr. Wenger, Thanksgiving is more about God and God's gifts than it is about us. I was recently on a plane, as you know, and I looked out the window and saw the most beautiful landscape. The sun was setting, and it was as if we were driving on a road of soft, fluffy cotton balls, comfortable and so peaceful. It was stunning and calm. But then, just a few minutes later, a few hundred vertical feet lower, the scene was much different. Gray and causing turbulence below this beautiful scene was a cloudy, windy storm that caused the airplane to bounce and lurch about in the air. Our challenge, of course, is to see God's glory on both sides of this picture, and then be spontaneously grateful. In the days of clarity and smooth sailing, as well as those of turbulence, and in the midst of the storm, our challenge is to see God's faithfulness surrounding us always, and then be grateful.
So, how do we practice this kind of spontaneous Thanksgiving? We have to change our perspective, to see the gifts of God first, and then to respond. Like prayer and worship and even forgiveness, our calling to thanks begins first with God. So as our choir sings, let us give thanks as well. A thanksgiving that resides in our hearts, where judgment ceases and overthinking is silenced, and we're able to be present in the moment. For this silence and the peace that accompanies it is where we are able to hear and see God most clearly and the gifts given to us as well. And then with a genuine heart, respond in gratitude. Happy Thanksgiving.